So one of the first questions I've teed up is, what are some of the biggest challenges that non-technical founders face?
Yeah, so non-technical founders, they kind of have a lot to overcome from a technical standpoint. And I think one of the biggest challenges that they have is that they don't know what they don't know. And so unfortunately, when it comes to technology, oftentimes they hand over a lot of control of their business, of the software that they're trying to build. And unfortunately, it's too much control that they hand over because technology can feel like this mysterious black box type of thing to a non-technical person. It's very confusing. It's very scary or fear-inducing. And so we tend to try and find somebody that sounds and looks like they know about technology, and then we just hand over everything to them.
Mhm.
And when we do that, we hand over complete control of ultimately the business that we're trying to build. And unfortunately, I've seen that kind of go bad quite a few times.
I love examples. Can you give an example?
Yeah, so I was talking with a team maybe a couple months ago now, and they had hired a development agency in a different country. And, it doesn't matter kind of where they're located, but that was
Mhm.
just kind of a scenario. And they had spent $100,000 so far to hire this development agency to try and get things up and running. So $100,000, at least 6 months had been spent working with the development agency, and they had nothing. They had nothing to show for it. They had no
Wow.
control. They had no code. They had, they didn't know where the application that they had been shown was hosted. They were basically out. They couldn't take anything that they'd spent all that time and money on to take it to another developer. And so unfortunately, they just kind of had to chalk it up to a very expensive lesson learned and moving on to the next.
Sure.
And unfortunately, that type of story, we kind of hear all too often.
Absolutely.